meditation reflection on a somewhat sunny rising, which has been a surprise back in the UK. I don't know if it's those of us that are on a spiritual path, or generally like look after our body, 22 on the clock, that we may look younger than our years in a physical sense. And it makes me laugh when we speak our truth and we share our story from a perspective of, this is my story, it's not going to be somebody else's story, it's not going to be somebody else's reality, it's not going to be somebody else's truth. But the whole basis of relationships and this duo, this dynamic, this dance between beings, is that there has to be a middle point. There has to be a halfway point where we've both done the self-observation work, or doing it, practice till the day we're not on the realm, where we can observe our own shite, triggers, blah, 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 and realise that even if we don't feel the same as what this person is expressing, we hear it fully as somebody else's truth, however painful, uncomfortable, especially if we've acted inappropriately, especially if we've acted from a position of selfishness, especially if we've acted from a position where we've put ourselves first. I don't mean that in a good way, because we do have to put ourselves first in this life, otherwise we can't share and give in a healthy, nourishing way without it depleting us. But put ourselves first in a way that doesn't consider the other, which is love, which is compassion. And when we share our wisdom at whatever age, even it doesn't need to be the fact that I'll consider myself an elder now, and then the journey that I'm moving into, you can be 10 years old and share your wisdom. But it's just, I feel like my wisdom is discounted because I don't look my age. And I've been around for a little bit, and I know if the ancestors are around, it means that there's a flurry of influx of energies that I have to process and I have to digest, because I'm connected to the Fae, whether people believe in the magic or not. Even yesterday I was driving around and I stumbled across a pixie village. You know, you can't, 313, you can't make this stuff up. There are those of us that see certain things and there are those of us that don't. And among those seers, we will tap into the different realms of the Avalon lineage, the giants, the animal kingdom, the Fae, the angelic realms. There will be a frequency that we have been assigned to decode in a human physical sense, perhaps. I don't know. But I feel strongly that the whole reason we're put on the realm isn't for self-isolation and to live as a monk if one doesn't choose. It is relationships being the playground and the school in which we learn the most. It is relationships. It is the mirror. Whether we like someone or not, others are always reflecting a part of ourselves that needs to be observed. We don't need to obsess over anything, and we need to learn to let go and detach, because we really have no control over anything in the world right now. And I think so much of us are realising that, because it's just I'm gonna sneeze, getting some gremlins out. Sorry, but I feel that no one's wisdom should be discounted. as an oracle, as a seer, and I claim that 100%, even if other people think that I'm disassociating or not present or whatever. From the things I have seen in real life among the people and among nature, I know what I'm tapped into. Even if I don't understand it half the time, I still, my dreamscape, a lot of us, is just different novel, different reality, different fantasy, different realm every single night. And anyway, don't need to go down that dreamscape. But don't judge a book by its cover. Age is just a number. We're all having our levels of like emotional maturity as we go through different relationships and different experiences in life. But sometimes it might be nice to listen to an evolved woman or evolving, because I'm not at the peak. I believe I'm moving into an era of my life where I am embodying and I'm learning about a very different part of womanhood. But I just wish women were revered more and honoured more. And I went to a circle the other day, and I haven't been part of that kind of sharing experience in quite a long time, having used run women's circles back in the day and death circles around end of life. And this was a different circle, and it seemed like a lot of women have the same, and I don't know if I want to use the word disgruntled, but the same sentiment around not being honoured as a woman in society, in a relationship, not being honoured as an oracle or a divine feminine or the carrier of life, not being honoured for the depth at which we hold, I believe, some of the mysteries of the universe. And it was really interesting to see that it's a collective sentiment, and I trust that we're healing that as we heal relationships. Divine feminine, divine masculine, men, women, child, adult, elder, intergenerational relationships. But it's a whopper of a week. It's really the new year in the Western Hemisphere in terms of spring equinox or Ostara, and you can see it in the flowers that are blooming and the wild garlic is up. I've been out foraging and nomming on wild garlic for a bit now. It's not as warm, so I'm a little bit sniffly and getting used to things, but yeah, it feels like this goddess matriarchy rising 818 in a lot of the feminines is about reverence, is about respect. Are we getting the respect that we deserve? Are we being honoured for the light that we shine? So I don't think I've got really much. Well, I do have a lot more to say because I can feel many words coming through my brain. So I'll just try to slow it down and just come back to Desert Rose. Someone might be listening to the Seal song, that magical track, Kiss from a Rose. But I think we need to honour each other more. I feel everybody's just been through so many mountains, climbed so many mountains and come down the mountain and then gone up another mountain, and I don't think we can ever discount anyone's journey or wisdom regardless of age. And we're either going to believe that or not. We're either going to find alignment in another or not, I think at this point there's just no expectations anymore. There's just a knowing of what we deserve, how we need to be honoured, how we look after ourselves, how we nourish, how we start over again, how we cleanse, how we share, how we bring joy to an environment, and how we don't lose ourselves in the complexities of others. Everyone is so complex. The human mind, the human brain, we are very complex. But by introducing a simple lifestyle, like simplifying and minimizing certain things, it does help us to overcome the mind chatter and like overdoing and like a multiple of tasks and thinking that busy, well, to be honest, some people don't even think about being busy. They just program every day really, really full, which might be somebody's motivation, but I'm just not there anymore. And observing around me, I just trust that we keep sharing our own wisdom so that our individual perspective can be acknowledged and respected, even if it's not shared by another. But at least we know that we've said what we need to say, and we feel 11:11 on the clock. We feel heard and seen, rather than someone listening to you say, "Oh, that's irrelevant," or no one can tell you like what you're saying is irrelevant. No one can tell you what you're saying doesn't matter, or you keep repeating. People have to process in different ways, and sometimes you say it out loud, and you either do that with someone who can hold space, or you do it with someone, well, you do it by yourself. If someone can't hold space, you take it to nature, but you get it out. You have to vocalise, I believe. You have to get stuff out now. I visited a very, very special yew tree yesterday and said what I needed to say and left an offering. And what this yew tree has done since I first connected with it, in terms of the people that I know that now also get drawn to this tree, it is quite magical. There is always something going on in the unseen, and women can tap into that. Men can too. I don't want to perpetuate any form of division. We can tap into that, and I just trust that those of us that know we're connected are being honoured and revered in a way that's encouraging love more for each other, and just like dissolving any forms of resentment and misunderstandings and things. So yeah, it having just been Friday the 13th, which was a very powerful day. There's a lot coming through about that right now, but anyway, I don't know when I'll put this out, but yeah, happy New Year's.